My coworker thought I was her personal Uber. One stormy day ride turned into daily demands, guilt trips, and lies she spread around the office. But she didn't know that by pushing too far, she was building her own downfall, and I made sure she felt every second of it. If you've ever been used, underestimated, or treated like you owed someone something you never agreed to, hit that subscribe button, like the video, drop a comment about the wildest coworker you've ever dealt with, and get ready for a story where revenge isn't loud, it's strategic, quiet, and absolutely devastating. Let's dive in. I work about 20 minutes from my apartment, and honestly, I'm the kind of person people forget is even in the room, not in a sad way. I just prefer it that way. I show up, finish my tasks, smile politely, mind my business, and head home. No drama, no chaos. Then Sarah joined our department. She was 31, loud without really being loud. One of those people who somehow always ended up the center of a conversation she wasn't even part of. But at first, she was nice. Friendly smile, casual small talk, asking normal new employee questions. Then came the storm. It was one of those Thursdays where the sky looked angry by 3 p.m. and the rain hit the building sideways. When I packed up to leave, Sarah hurried over to me with her bag clutched to her chest. "Hey, is there any chance you could drop me at the bus stop? Just like 5 minutes away. I'll get soaked." It was on my route, and I'm not heartless. So I said, "Sure." She sighed with relief, like I'd just saved her life. We talked a bit in the car, nothing deep. When I dropped her off, she thanked me and ran toward the bus shelter. I didn't think about it again. The next day at 4:55 p.m., I'm finishing an email when I see someone standing in front of my desk. It's Sarah, with her bag, smiling. "Ready to go." I blinked. "Oh, I'm staying late today." The smile dropped faster than a bad stock market crash. "Oh. Okay then." She walked off stiff and annoyed, as if I just ruined her plans, and that was the moment everything changed. From that day on, she acted like that one ride was a contract. She'd hover near the door at the end of the day, staring at me like a disappointed mother. She'd text me, "Leaving now," even though I had Nivar told her she could expect a daily ride, and when I didn't offer. The next morning, she'd walk past me like I was a bug she didn't feel like stepping on. The behavior got under my skin, not because she wanted a ride, but because she acted like she deserved one, like I owed her something. Still, I let it slide. But then came the message that snapped something in me. It was last Thursday, 40 p.m. "Can you take me to the mall after work?" The mall. 25 minutes in the opposite direction of my home. I replied, "Sorry, that's too far out of my way." And she had the nerve, the audacity, to reply, "Wow, okay." That was it. No polite thanks for considering. No understanding. Just, wow. Like I was selfish for not driving across the city for her. The next day, she acted like I'd kicked her dog. Barely spoke to me. Whispered to people when I walked by. One coworker even approached me with concern. "Hey, did something happen between you and Sarah?" She said, "You promised to help her out and then backed out." I swear my jaw tightened so hard my teeth almost cracked. I had never promised her anything. One storm ride, one moment of kindness. That's it. But now, she was telling the office I betrayed her. My sister told me I'd been too nice at the beginning. People like that test boundaries, she warned. The moment you give an inch, they try to take your whole house. A friend said I should have just driven her. Less drama. But why should I bend my life around someone else's entitlement? I didn't do anything wrong. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I wasn't going to let her rewrite the narrative. If she wanted drama, fine. I'd write the final act. Revenge in workplaces can't be loud. It has to be clean, professional, undeniable. So I came up with a plan. Step 1, documentation. I gathered everything. Her texts, her, "Leaving now," messages, the mall request, screenshots, dates, times. Step 2, observation. I paid attention to her routine. When she hovered by the door, who she whispered to, who she'd convinced that I was unreliable. And 2, faced. Step 3, the trigger. The company announced a mandatory team meeting the following Wednesday. Attendance wasn't optional. I knew exactly what I was going to do. The day before the meeting, I casually asked Sarah, loud enough for the nearby desks to hear, "Hey, Do you still need a ride somewhere after work this week? Her eyes lit up. Oh, yes, actually. Could you take me to my friend's house tomorrow? It's near the mall. I nodded. Perfect. After the team meeting, I assume. Yeah, that works. And then I smiled the sweetest, fakest smile I've ever smiled in my entire life. Absolutely. But before that, I need to talk to HR. I don't want any confusion again. Her face paled. HR, why HR? I lowered my voice, but just enough that nearby people still heard parts. Oh, just to clear up the misunderstanding you mentioned to our coworkers about me promising rides and backing out. I figured HR should know the actual story so there's no miscommunication. The color drained from her face like someone pulled the plug. She sputtered. I didn't say that. Oh, I raised my phone slightly. The screen still lit on one of her passive-aggressive texts. Because I've got messages showing otherwise. And I would hate for there to be a formal issue over something so small. She went silent. And the best part, half the team was within earshot. By the next morning, whispers had turned into a quiet wave of, wait, what's going on? And she said, what? But I wasn't done. At noon, I walked into HR with a neatly organized folder of screenshots. I didn't accuse her. I didn't attack her. I simply said, I want to make sure there is no misunderstanding or workplace conflict. I don't want her spreading misinformation about me. EHR took it very seriously. Apparently, this wasn't the first complaint against Sarah for manipulating coworkers. That meeting, combined with her suddenly panicked behavior, was the final straw they'd been waiting for. She was written up, officially. But the biggest blow came the following week. Sarah was removed from our department's main project rotation. No more visibility, no more spotlight, no more hovering in popularity circles. She became a background character in her own story. Colleagues who used to listen to her gossip started distancing themselves. After all, nobody wants to be associated with someone who lies about coworkers and gets HR involved. As for me, the tension evaporated overnight. I walked through the office with people greeting me normally again, some even saying things like, good on you for standing up for yourself. And Sarah, she avoided me like I was the CEO conducting surprise layoffs. One storm ride, one entitled coworker, one well-executed revenge she learned the hard way. If you treat someone like an Uber driver without paying the fare, you might end up paying in other ways. The biggest lesson here: boundaries aren't rude. Entitlement is. And people who rely on manipulation eventually destroy themselves. You just have to give them a clean, well-lit stage to do it on. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button. Subscribe for more real Reddit revenge tales, and tell me in the comments what's the most satisfying workplace karma you've ever witnessed. I might just turn your story into our next video.